Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Stamkos, and welcome to week one of NHL News of the Week. This week we have 7 different things that I've written down here, and we're going to be talking about them. So let's start right away. And the first topic I have on the board is Karlsson upset with the Sharks. So Erik Karlsson is currently pretty upset with the Sharks. He came out and basically said that he doesn't want to go on another rebuild, and he didn't spend 10 years in Ottawa just to get traded to the Sharks, just to go on a rebuild 2 years after he arrived. And I can totally agree. Karlsson is getting up there in age. He's 30, 31 now, and he hasn't really came close to winning a Stanley Cup in his career yet. So it's totally understandable that he's a guy who wants to be on a winning team and be a Stanley Cup champion and be a good contributor on a good team. But I think the only issue with Karlsson being on a good team is his cap hit, because he's being paid like $10 million a year, and a good team isn't going to be able to afford Erik Karlsson. Just that's how it is. So I think it's kind of unrealistic that we see an Erik Karlsson trade, but there's still a possibility that he gets traded. I don't know where he would get traded. I don't know where he would get traded, but it's always a possibility. So I think that's interesting that, Karlsson's pretty unhappy right now, and he believes that the Sharks have what it takes to get back into the playoffs, and I totally agree with that. I just feel like they're not playing like the team they are. I feel like they just don't have any motivation in that lineup anymore, and that's kind of doomed them. Next here is a topic that isn't really new to this week, but I wanted to talk about it, and it's the Tampa Bay cap scandal. So there are kind of rumors and conspiracy theories going around that Julien Brisebois, GM of the Tampa Bay Lightning, purposefully injured Nikita Kucherov. Don't ask me how or when, but that he purposefully injured Kucherov. And then the same day that the Kucherov injury came out, he signed Sorelli, he signed Matthew Joseph, he signed Mitchell Stevens, and he signed Erik Chernak. 4 of the key players all in one day, and you have to think, is Kucherov being out and, them signing all those guys, is that something? Is that Julien Brisebois' plan? Who knows, because when Kucherov comes back in the playoffs, that doesn't count against Tampa Bay Lightning's cap hit, because that's the playoffs instead of the regular season. So therefore, there's no salary cap, there's no base, there's none of that. It's just you play whatever guys you got. And it's one way to get around the cap issue that Tampa Bay had this year. But I if it's true, I don't know. I'm personally fine with it because I'm a Tampa Bay fan, so whatever we can do to win. But also, just wasting a year of Kucherov's career is not okay with me. So there's that issue. Next, I want to talk about the trade deadline. So I think the 3 biggest names on the trade deadline right now are Mattias Ekholm, Eric Staal, and Rickard Rakell. I think that 2 of these 3 guys get traded, and I'm going to say Ekholm and Staal are probably the 2 most likely to go, because Anaheim's asking for quite a lot for Rakell, and I don't know if teams are going to be willing to give up, like a top 3 prospect on their team, a top 3 round draft pick, and I don't know what else Anaheim wants, honestly. I feel like Rickard Rakell's good. I feel like he's a good top 6 forward, but I don't know if he's worth what Anaheim's asking for. I mean, if you're a team like Toronto and you're really contending this year and you really think you have what it takes to win that Stanley Cup, then I say you can give up a guy like Sandin, Amirov, or Liljegren, and or even Robertson. You give up a second or third round draft pick, and you get a guy like Rickard Rakell, and then maybe you move a guy like Pierre Engvall in that deal as well, just to give Anaheim another middle six forward to work with. I think that could work, but Rickard Rakell is probably the guy who I see least likely getting traded, just because I don't know if teams are going to offer up what Anaheim's wanting. Eric Staal, I think, is going to be gone because it hasn't really worked out. And Buffalo has openly come out and said multiple times that they're shopping Erik Staal. And the next issue kind of has something to do with this. And Matthias Ekholm, I think Nashville is going to try to get as much as they can for him this year because he's playing very well on a very bad team. And I think that he could fetch them a first and a top 10 prospect pretty easily. And Erik Staal kind of goes into this next thing. Jarmo Kekalainen comes out and says that Columbus is really looking for a top 6 center. So after trading away Pierre-Luc Dubois, they're kind of left with Boone Jenner as like their top line center. You could play Max Domi there, but he's more of a wing. And I don't know, Boone Jenner I feel like is a good third line center, but definitely not first line. And they lost Wenberg in free agency. So I think an Erik Staal trade to Columbus kind of really makes sense, personally. And I feel like if you're sending Staal to Buffalo, or Staal to Columbus, you could even give Buffalo a guy like Max Domi or David Savard, who, in Max Domi's case, is younger and might be able to play the wing with Jack Eichel and kind of turn his career around. You don't know. With a guy like David Savard, he gives Buffalo some good defense, and I think that's what Buffalo really needs right now. They're really looking for some defensive play out of their team that they're not getting. Let's move on to number 5. Ovechkin is now 6th all-time in goals. This is 720. If you want, I'll even write 720 down here because I wrote this board a few days ago and I was going to add more if anything happened, but nothing over the past couple days except for injuries, which I don't like to write about. But yeah, so he's currently sitting at 720 goals, 6th all-time in the goals list, and he passed Phil Esposito on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, really great accolade to say that he's probably going to get top 5, top 4, top 3. But it's going to be great when Ovechkin retires to say that, I'm top 5 in goals all time. And that's going to be really awesome. And I'm super excited to see how the rest of his career goes. Next, Ralph Kruger was fired by Buffalo this past week, and I'm sorry that I'm talking weird because I have a huge canker sore in my mouth and it really hurts to talk. But Kruger is fired and replaced by Don Granato, who is either their AHL head coach or their assistant coach. I don't know, but I don't really expect Don Granato to be their long-term replacement. I feel like there's a lot of pretty decent coaches out on the market right now. Guys like Mike Babcock, who has Stanley Cup experience, Kevin Stevens, who won 2 cups with the Kings as their head coach, and he was a big part of that. Guys like Gerard Gallant, who I think will be the head coach in in Seattle, if nobody else offers him a job. Mike Yeo, Bruce Boudreau. There's a lot of good names out there for Buffalo to go after. And I don't really know what one they're going to go after. Maybe Don Granato works out and they turn things around, but I highly doubt it. And I think they need a serious coach like Mike Babcock to come in and actually turn this team around. And the final thing that I got for this week is Jimmy Vesey was waived by the Maple Leafs, and Vancouver claims him. And he just played his first game, I think, today. And I don't know if he got any points in that game, but he was playing their first line. And I think that Jimmy Vesey is a guy who could, come into Vancouver and be kind of effective in that lineup, add a good bottom 6 scoring role to that team. With a team that's really struggled, they've been a lot better recently, but overall has struggled to score goals this year. And I think Jimmy Vesey is a great claim for them, with the Leafs wanting to play Galchenyuk with his hot start in the AHL for them. And honestly, I don't know what the future holds for Jimmy Vesey, but I think, with guys like JT Miller and Tyler Toffoli and Tanner Pearson, where Vancouver's kind of taking them in from a team from, kind of not being amazing. Obviously, they have the potential to be good, but Vancouver's taking these players in and has kind of brought their potential back to life. You see Toffoli in Montreal. Tanner Pearson's outstanding in Vancouver. Jimmy Vesey's here now. We'll see what he can do. But, yeah, that's all I got for you guys this week. So, I'll probably have like 5 to 10 issues. 5 to 10 things to talk about a week. Usually going to be 10 to 15 minute videos. But yeah, I just like to write these things down and kind of talk about some of the bigger topics, at least for me, that go on in the week. So this is the first part of this series that will hopefully be every Saturday around 3:30. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've kind of worked hard on marketing this one. Go follow the Mr.Stamkos Instagram account. It's Mr.Stamkos _YT. Brand new Instagram account for the channel, just because it's about time that I've made one. So please consider giving that a follow and also subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one. But for now, bye.